Hey guys, welcome back to Go with 9x. If you have got a job interview coming up, or if you are just getting ready to start job hunting, this video is going to help you so much. Today, we are talking about the most common interview questions, the ones that show up in almost every single interview, and I'm going to show you exactly how to answer them step by step in a simple way. Stick with me till the end of this video because I'm going to give you a very real example and more answers you can actually use, and so let's get into it. Okay, so before we jump into the actual questions, let's talk about something super important. Every single question an interviewer asks you, no matter how random it sounds, it really just trying to figure out three things. Number one, can you do the job? That means, do you have the skills and experiences they need? Number two, will you do the job? This is about your motivation. Actually, are you actually going to work hard or you are just looking for any job? That's the point. And number three, will you fit in? This is about your personality. Will you get along with the team, with the culture, all of that? So, here's the trick. Once you understand these three things, every interview question suddenly makes so much sense. Now, you are not just answering questions randomly, you are answering them with a purpose. Keep this in mind because we are going to come back to a lot today. Alright, let's start with what I call the foundational questions. These are the questions that pretty much every interview opens with. They set the tone for the whole conversation, so nailing this early is super important. So, tell me about yourself. Okay, question number one, and honestly the most common out of there is tell me about yourself. So many people mess this up because they either talk for way too long, or they don't know where to start. And here's the thing, the interviewer is not asking for your whole life story. They are just checking two things. Can you communicate clearly? And what do you actually think is important about yourself? So here's a super simple formula you can ask. I call it present, past and future. Present, start with what you are doing right now, your current job, your current role, maybe one accomplishment you are being proud of. Then past, then quickly touch on your past experience, something relevant that helped build your skills. And the third, future. And finally, wrap it up connecting to why you are being excited about this new opportunity. That's I call it the present, past and future. Let me give you an example. Something like, currently I am an account manager handling top tier clients. Previously I worked in agency sales, which helped me to build strong negotiation skills, and now I am looking to bring that experience here to help grow the market share. See how clean that is, and past, see the present, past, future, boom, done. No rambling, no confusion. Try practicing your own version of this before your next interview. And now the next question is, why do you want to work here? This one trips people up a lot, especially if they have not really researched the company. Here's the intent behind the question. The interviewer wants to know if you are genuinely interested or you are just applying to every company out there hoping something sticks. Basically, they want to see effort. So, how do you answer this well? It's very simple. Connect your own goals or values to something specific about the company. Maybe it's their mission, a product they make, or something they recently achieved. Here's an example. I have been following your recent expansion into sustainable tech. I am really passionate about the green energy and I would love to bring my engineering skills to a company that actually leading this space. See how specific that is. That's the key takeaway here. On always research the company before you interview, and even 10 minutes on their website or the LinkedIn page can actually completely change how good your answering sounds. Now moving to our next section, self-awareness questions. These are the ones about your strengths and weaknesses. A lot of people get nervous here, but honestly, once they know the trick, they became really easier to answer. So let's start with strengths. What are your greatest strengths? The intent is very simple. The interviewer wants to see if your skills actually match the job needs, and also can you talk about yourself confidently without sounding like you are bragging. So here's how to answer it. First, pick a strength that actually relevant to the job you are applying for. Don't just say generic. Second, back it up with a real example, ideally with some kind of number or a result. And third, keep it short. One really strong example beats 3 vague ones every time. And here's the example. Like, my greatest strength is my ability to turn complex data into clear, useful insights. In my last role, my data visualizations helped the marketing team boost their campaign results significantly. So notice there's a real result mentioned there. What makes an answer stand out? And don't just say you are good at something. You have to prove it. And now, the one everybody gets. What is your greatest weakness? So the intent here is not to trap you about that. They just want to see if you are self-aware and if you are actually working on improving yourself. Now, here's the big warning. Please do not say something like I work too hard or I am a perfectionist. Interviewers hear that literally all the time and it sounds very much fake and it actually makes you look worse and not even better. Instead, how you answer it properly, pick a real weakness, something that isn't going to be a deal breaker for the job, and then explain the actual steps you are taking to work on it. Example, I sometimes struggle with delegating tasks because I make sure everything is done well. But recently, I started using a project management tools to assign tasks clearly and track the progress, and it actually made my team more efficient. See, the answer is very honest and it also shows how much you are doing the growth. That's exactly what they want to hear. So, you understood what I am saying. And alright, moving into the bigger section now. The behavioral questions. These are the questions that start with things like tell me about a time when. This is the phrase, tell me about a time when. And honestly, this is where most people either shine or completely freeze up. So pay close the attention here because I'm going to give you a basic framework that makes this question so much easier. You might have found this framework called the STAR method, STAR, STAR method in my previous videos, but if you have not seen those videos, you may see them, and even now I am explaining the STAR method. So this is the STAR method, STAR STAR method. The framework is called STAR method, and honestly a game changer. If you remember only one thing from this video, remember this one. STAR, STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. Situation, you have to set this scene, give a little context about what was going on, and task, you have to explain what specific challenge or responsibility was in that situation. And then the action, this is the most important part. Explain exactly what steps you took. And at last, the conclusion being the result, you have to share the outcome. If you add a number or a measurable result there, it would be even better. So basically, whenever you get a question like tell me about a time you, this is the phrase. Just run through these 4 steps in your head: situation, task, action, and result. The whole STAR method. It keeps your answer organized and it makes sure you don't forget the most of the part and what you actually did and what just happened because of it. Now, all after that, let's look at the 3 most behavioral topics you will run into and how STAR STAR method fits into each of this one. First, handling conflict. They might ask, tell me about a time you disagreed with a co-worker. For this one, focus on staying professional, communicating clearly, and how you found a compromise. They are not looking for a drama. That's clear. They are looking for your maturity. And here's the second, overcoming failure. That sounds familiar. Something like describe a time you made a mistake. Here's the key is the accountability. Own the mistake, explain what you learned, and show how you made it sure that it would never happen again. And third, demonstrating leadership. A question like, tell me about a time you took initiative. This is your chance to highlight you are proactive and that you can guide or support others without necessarily needing a title to do it. So, next time you are preparing for an interview, try thinking of one real story for each of these 3 situations and structure them using the STAR method, the so-called STAR STAR method that alone will prepare you for probably 80% of behavioral questions out there. And okay, last section now. Forward-looking questions. These are about your future and your goals and where this job fits your bigger career picture. This is the one very super classic. So where do you see yourself in next 5 years? These questions I have found very common in every interviews. The intent here is to see if your goals are actually lined up with what the company can offer you, and honestly just to see how ambitious and thoughtful you are about your own future. So how do you answer that? You have to be realistic but still ambitious. Focus on the skills you want to build and the kind of responsibility you are hoping to grow into, and if you can, tie that back to the specific company. Example, you have to answer like, in 5 years I hope to have developed deep expertise in product management and ideally be leading a cross-functional team on new initiatives. That's very simple, confident, and forward thinking. That's the exact vibe I want you to hear. I want you to be here. And actually the exact example, I don't want you to forward the exact example like that. I want you to answer like that. The vibe I want you from. So, alright, whatever that is, let's do a quick recap because we covered a lot today. We basically learned 2 frameworks that can help you answer almost any job question. Number 1, present, past, future. Use these questions about yourself, your motivation, your career direction. And the number 2, the STAR method, the situation, task, action, result, known as STAR. Use this one for behavioral questions. So anything about conflict, failure, or leadership. And here's the biggest lesson from this whole video. Understanding what the interviewer is actually trying to find out matters weighed more than memorizing a script word for word. Once you understand the why behind the question, answering it became so much easier. And that's it for this today's video. I really hope this helped you a lot. You feel more confident and prepared for your job interview. But I wish you should take a note down of the previous slide, this present, past, future, and the so-called STAR method. You just took and take a note down of this, and you practice those to highlight your better performance in those interviews. And hit the like button and subscribe to Go with 9x if you have not already, because we post videos like this all the time to help you grow in your career. And if you subscribe my channel, it would be a great help and motivation for me too. So till then, hope you to get into the next video, and hey, drop a comment down and tell me what's the toughest interview question you have been ever asked. I would love to hear that, and who knows, maybe I will make a video answering it. Thanks for so much watching it, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye.